Well, it's the middle of winter here in California and our bees appear to be dying. I really wish I knew what to do and how to save them.
Well, you are in luck. I can help you.
What? Who are you and how can you help me?
Well, I'm you, but I'm you from the future. And I can give you all the information about bees that you need to help you.
Okay, well that's odd, but whatever. Sure.
Well, let's start off with what you need to get started. First of all, past Scott, you will need a hive. You can either start with a complete hive or what's called a nuke or a nucleus colony. A complete hive is going to have everything that you need to get started with all the bees that you need, including frames of honey and brood, which are baby bees, inside of a pre-put together hive package. Now, complete hives can't usually be mailed out to you, and you usually have to pick them up locally, so you need to find a local beekeeper that can help you with that. A nuke, on the other hand, or a nucleus colony, is a small-sized hive, which is a colony of bees inside of usually a box or a plastic container. And it's typically purchased with everything inside of it, and then the queen's in a little queen package. There's a little bit more work to do with a nuke, since you have to install the bees into a hive, but that's another video, Scott. So now, past dude, I think you have chosen the right thing to go with a complete hive, but now you probably got to get some other equipment to get you started.
Well, no, I was going to just use like a screwdriver and some gloves, really. I mean, do I need anything else? Okay, well, here is a small gift. It's all that you need for beekeeping. Awesome. So here you have your bee suit, gloves, a hive tool, and a smoker.
Okay, so open this up.
Now, let's get over to your hive and take a look at what's going on. But first, go ahead and toss some pine needles, or you even can get pellets for your smoker and light them with a torch. Then you just squeeze the back of it to get smoke to come out.
What are these for?
Well, glad that you asked. The smoke is actually just something to confuse the bees, basically, so that they can become a little bit calmer when you get inside the hive and open it up. These are Italian honeybees, which are generally calm anyways, but it still helps. Alright, so go ahead and open up the top cover. This is your top cover, and it just covers everything up, basically. After you get through that, you're going to have your inner cover, and this is what adds some protection to the hive while allowing air to flow in and out of the hive to make sure your bees have airflow. As I'm sure you found out when you bought the hive, there are tons of different kinds of frames and hives. The most popular is what you see here, and this is the Langstroth hive. There's 3 different main sizes of frames you can get, the deep, medium, and shallow, and this is an example of the deep. Inside here, once you take the inner cover off, you're also going to find a sugar water feeder. This can be really helpful for helping your hive to get started and can help you get through a tough winter or when there's not very much bloom or pollen around on the flowers.
Now, what's all this on the frame?
So first you're going to see all the worker bees moving around on the frames, processing all of the brood cells and baby bees and honey cells. The bees utilize the stored honey in the combs throughout the winter or when the food or pollen is not so prevalent. You can tell it's honey in the cells because it looks lighter and well, it looks like honey. The other things you'll see in there is brood cells. Now, brood cells are actually baby bees, and you can tell that they're brood cells because they're a darker colored caps, and eventually these will turn into worker bees.
Now, it looks like not all these frames are full of brood or honey. Is that bad?
No, not at all. It can mean that your hive is slowing down for the wintertime or there isn't enough food for them. So you may need to supplement them with some sugar water. In this case, just mix a lot of sugar into some water and stir it up until dissolved, and then just pour it into the feeder, into the sugar water feeder.
There is some honey in here. Now, can I just pull it out and process it for eating?
Now, not so fast. There, all of this honey is used by the hive for food, and it's also mixed with brood, so it wouldn't taste or look very good. If you took out the honey from this hive, it'd probably kill the hive.
So how do we get honey from the hive then?
Well, it's pretty simple. So during the springtime, when the hive is going strong, there's plenty of honey in the hive. You add a couple of things. First, a screen will go on top of this main set of frames, and then you set another frame on top of this with more frames on that. And that screen will allow the worker bees to process pollen and go up in and deposit honey on the top frames, but won't allow the queen to go up and turn those cells into brood. Then you can just pull the frames out and take them and process them for the honey.
Awesome. Well, that's pretty much it then. There's not really much to this then, is there?
Yeah, for the most part, yes, that's it. There are some things to learn about later, like dealing with mites and other types of pests, but that's all you really need to know.
So my hive isn't dying then?
You got it. It's just slowing down for the winter. So during the colder months, the bees will tend to stay in their hive and keep to themselves. And that just keeps the hive warm, so you won't see them as much or see as much activity. and that's okay, and they might decrease in number as well, and that's also okay. Just make sure you have plenty of sugar water in there if there's nothing blooming. Well, that's awesome. Thanks, future Scott. I gotta get back to the bees and to the other animals. Cool. Well, thanks guys for joining us. We really appreciate it. I still have the bee suit on because they're still pretty upset. But if you like this video, please consider clicking on the subscribe button below and turning on bell notifications so you get notified every time a video does come out each and every Friday. Also check below in the description and the pinned post for all the links to the products shown today, including some of our new merchandise you saw future me wearing.